Morning. I've selected the Pines Farm located in Kiama in the Illawarra region of New South Wales for my case study. This presentation examines a strategic change proposal focusing on expanding agritourism alongside existing cattle production. The aim is to evaluate strategic options using a structured decision-making approach, identify the most viable pathway, and outline how this change can be implemented sustainably. This presentation uses agribusiness concepts, industry evidence, and decision-making tools to support the recommendation, followed by a reflection on the process and its relevance to real-world farm management. Pines Farm is a small to medium privately owned mixed enterprise in Kiama, operating across cattle grazing and agritourism. It's currently transitioning from a traditional production-based model towards a more diversified agribusiness structure. Key customers include domestic and regional tourists, school groups, and families seeking farm experiences. The business has strong enabling assets, including scenic coastal land, livestock infrastructure, and established access pathways. Overall, the farm is in a transition phase towards a more diversified and experience-based revenue model. The main opportunity for the Pines is the growth in demand for authentic farm-based tourism and educational experiences. This includes farm tours, school programs, and visitor engagement activities. At the same time, cattle production is under pressure due to rising input costs and market volatility. This creates financial uncertainty and reduces profitability in traditional operations. As a result, diversification becomes strategically important. Agritourism allows the business to use existing assets to generate additional income, improving resilience and reducing reliance on livestock markets. 3 strategic options were identified. Option A is maintaining current operations, which is low cost, but it offers opportunities for limited amounts of growth. Option B is increasing cattle production, which builds scale but increases exposure to cost and market risk. And option C is expanding agritourism, which aligns with tourism demand and enables diversification. These options represent different levels of risk, investment, and long-term sustainability. A weighted decision matrix was used to evaluate these 3 options using cost, revenue, risk, and feasibility as the categories. Revenue was weighted highest at 35%, with risk and feasibility at 25% each and cost at 15%. I then scored each option from 1 to 5, poor to strong, and weighed them accordingly. Results showed agritourism as the strongest option with a score of 3.95. Although it involves initial higher setup costs, it delivers the best balance of profitability, feasibility, and long-term resilience. The analysis supports a clear strategic shift toward agritourism expansion. Option C performed highest in the decision matrix due to the benefits of the diversification, and it reflects a move from commodity-based production towards experience-based revenue. While the results depend on assumptions and weighing, agritourism consistently performs strongest overall, so therefore diversification is recommended to improve long-term sustainability and reduce reliance on livestock markets. The proposed strategy is to expand agritourism through farm tours, education programs, and community events. And this approach uses existing farm assets like land infrastructure and livestock knowledge and enables multiple income streams beyond basic cattle production. This improves financial resilience and reduces dependency on volatile agricultural markets, but it does involve upfront investment in infrastructure, marketing, and compliance. But despite this, the long-term benefits will outweigh the initial costs. The implementation follows a phase 6 to 12-month approach, where the first phase involves planning and approvals, including feasibility studies, insurance requirements, and compliance. Phase 2 focuses on developing the visitor experience and preparing the infrastructure. Phase 3 is marketing and promotion to schools, tourists, and community groups. And Phase 4 is launching and ongoing monitoring, including feedback and improvements. The staged approach reduces risk and allows gradual controlled rollout, but there's increased operational complexity, high compliance burdens, potential community resistance, cash flow lags during the setup phase, and seasonal fluctuations. to contend with. Implementation is expected to deliver several key outcomes, which include diverse revenue streams beyond cattle production, and it improves financial stability and reduces exposure to market volatility. Stronger engagement with schools, families, and visitors is another benefit, and the farmer also gains greater regional visibility. So overall, these outcomes improve long-term resilience and sustainability. Key risks include high setup costs, seasonal demand fluctuations, and biosecurity concerns, but we can manage the high costs through staged implementation. Seasonality is addressed by diversifying activities across tours, education, and events, and biosecurity risks can be managed through strict visitor protocols and controlled area access. But overall, the risks seem manageable, and with structured planning and monitoring can be dealt with quite easily. The presentation was developed by reviewing the assessment requirements and the marking criteria, and the content was structured using the decision matrix and implementation planning framework, and academic literature was integrated to support the analysis, and the final structure follows a logical flow from analysis through to reflection. I practiced the presentation multiple times to improve timing and fluency, and this helped reduce reliance on notes and improved clarity of delivery. I strengthened my understanding of structured decision-making tools, and I improved my ability to apply theory to real-world agribusiness problems. For future tasks, I'd begin with a clear alignment to marking criteria and include more quantitative and industry-specific data, but also begin practicing earlier and more consistently. And I would take feedback and incorporate that throughout development. But finally, I would strengthen the evaluation of assumptions and limitations. Overall, this project strengthened my ability to apply structured decision-making tools to real-world agribusiness challenges, and it highlighted the importance of using evidence-based analysis to support strategic recommendations. Moving forward, I'll focus on improving the depth of my data use and ensuring stronger alignment between analysis and evaluation. I'll also continue developing my confidence in presenting complex ideas clearly and within strict time constraints. And here's my reference list. And continued.